Summer so far has been incredibly busy. I haven't had a whole lot of time to read, but I'm hopeful that's about to change. But here's what I've read in June and July 2024. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews here at the weekend. In the description box below, as well as all of the books that I'm about to talk about, you'll find links to my blog and my Goodreads, where I am trying to catch up with some of the books that I need to post about, because it is now finally summer holidays and it's actually hot. So apologies if I'm looking a little glistening. We've got a bit of extra sparkle today. So in June, I only read the one book, and this was my book versus movie book, which, if you haven't seen that video yet, I will leave it linked above, because I have actually posted the video. Oh my God, I know. So I reread Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This is John Green's latest YA novel, which was made into a movie in the UK. It's here on Sky. In the US, I believe it's on Max or HBO Max. And yeah, I sort of talked about the rereading process. But what was great was the first time I read this novel, I knew no people with OCD. And so it was a completely different reading experience from having read it, 6 years later from when it came out? Was it 2018 it came out? 2017? I know I read it all the day it came out, and then I got myself a lovely signed copy. 2017. So 7 years ago. I have met people who have OCD now, and this book makes so much more sense. I know that John Green talks a lot about his experiences with OCD on his vlog channel, and also in the movie preview stuff that he did, all the interviews, the junkets. So yeah, it was a really interesting reread, and I'm quite happy with the fact that I only read one thing in June, but it was this. I did, however, make some progress on another book in June, and then finally finished it in July. And I loved this book. It was literally magical. This is Under Your Spell by Laura Wood. I was supposed to have read this one by the 20th of June when it came out, but it just wasn't going to happen. So I managed to read it by the 30th of July. Hey. So I absolutely loved this. I thought it was really great. We've got somebody who's got two sisters. They cast a sort of practical magic type of spell, and then she ends up going and becoming a bit of a not personal assistant, but a bit of a support babysitter type of thing for a very famous individual. And so it's got that kind of trope of famous person, and it's got the trope of locked together in an isolated house. It's got the trope of kind of coming back, phoenix rising from the ashes after poor Clemmy has had a really, really rubbish time of it. And it's just a rom-com where the romance is definitely slow burn, but then spicy hot. This is, as I say, I would compare this to Practical Magic meets a bit of Paige Toon's Johnny Jefferson novels. So there's more than one of those, obviously. So it's got those vibes going about it. So if you like either of those things, you will definitely like this book. And even though it is quite a chunky read at 450 pages, it was quite a quick read, considering the fact that I only had time for a couple of chapters at a time. I actually, managed to get through this one in about a month, which is pretty good given the fact that I've basically been reading nothing. Speaking of quick reads, another July book that I finished that was on my July TBR. Yes. And I knew that I would read this one incredibly quickly. And as soon as I hold this book up, that I would read this one incredibly quickly. I am thinking of making a standalone video of this one, because I made standalone videos of all the others. Unfortunately, work meant that I didn't get to read it all at once like I normally would do. And work also meant that I didn't get to go to any of the book events that she did while she was here in the UK, which hurts my heart, because I've been going to this author's events for forever. I believe she was my first author event. And this is Love Story by Lindsay Kelk. Obviously, we've got a Taylor Swift song as the title. But this one she's a small town school teacher. I'll get into that in a second. He's a hotshot creative director. Together, it's hate at first sight, fabulous enemies to lovers trope. And the great thing about this book is that the two people involved both work within the publishing industry to some extent, because her parents are like book reviewers and publishers. Her brother is a literary agent, and her sister is a famous book talk person. And so we've got this like book that's got an insight to other books. So they talk about pub dates, and they talk about promotion of things, and they talk about book tours and book signings of bookshops, and the ins and outs of that, and then book reviews like the ones that come from book bloggers and booktubers and booktop people. And I love that side of it. Also, she's a school teacher, and I put a snippet that I found on my Instagram story because I loved it so much. It was basically that, addressing the whole those who can do and those who can't teach, and how she would like somebody who thinks that teaching is just a 9 to 3 easy job to come and take her class of 10-year-olds in the 2 weeks before the summer holidays. And I was literally reading that with 2 days to go before the summer holidays as somebody that teaches 10 and 11-year-olds. And I was like, this is perfect. This is like kismet. This is meant to be. Lindsay Kelk was writing for me in that moment. It was just wonderful. I always love when an author actually gets their teaching industry sort of right. So yeah, basically she goes and spends summer holidays in a house with this famous person. And again, I like the last one. The rom-com, the romance aspect of it is slow burn, but it is also hot. There's a point in this as well where one of the characters gets the flu, and oh my goodness, the writing of the flu, those scenes, I was just like, they made me feel so ill. They were so well written. I was like, oh my God, I'm coming down with something just from the effect of having read this book. So yes. So look, we've got 3 books. This isn't too bad. And then I finally finished another book. It's taken me so long to read this book. Now, it's not taken me so long to read this book because it's a bad book. I really enjoyed the book, but if I was a person that gave books ratings, I couldn't give this one like 5 out of 5 stars because it was just so long. It took me so long to read, and it's meant that I haven't read anything else. I finished this and almost immediately started reading something else because I was like, I'm sort of free of this book that I've been tied to all this time. And this is My Favourite Mistake by Marian Keyes, which did make it onto one of my like top reads of the first half of 2024, because I did finish this just into July, but I finally finished listening to this. And this one came out in April, and I've been reading it for 3 months, and I've been listening to it for 3 months. Now, honestly, part of that is me, because I have not had the attention span to listen to something. I actually switched to podcasts for the last like 2 weeks of term because I was not taking in what I was listening to, or I was not able to concentrate at all on what I was listening to. So I loved it. It was great to catch up with the Walsh family again. It's Marian Keyes narrating it as well, so I highly recommend the audiobook. But it is so long. I don't even know how long it is because I listened on double speed as well, and it took me this long to read the book. But yes, I loved it. It was great. It was wonderful to catch up with Anna and just catch up with the whole Walsh family in general. I'm so sorry, my glasses keep sliding down my face because it's so hot and sweaty in here. Yeah, it was amazing to catch up with the Walsh family in general, and it was great. But full disclosure, it was very long. So yeah, like I say, I don't even know how long the whole audiobook was because it was just so long. But yeah, so in 2 months I read 4 books, which I completely get that for some people would be like a decent amount to have read, a book a fortnight. But for me, it's like, oh, it was less than I would have liked to have done. I'm now just trying to find out how long this audiobook is, because I mean, the answer is just so long. I mean, it's 608 pages as an actual book, as an audiobook. Let's see, 15 hours 35. So really, if I'm listening on double time, 7.5 hours, I should have been able to do that quicker. So yes, hopefully now we're in the summer holidays, we'll see some more books from me. We'll see some more postings and what have you. I also really need to put my TikTok in my description box below. Not that I post an awful lot about books on there, but when I am actually reading, you can sometimes see the fact that I'm reading. And let me know if you would like to see bookish content from me on TikTok as well. Please do. Let me know how your summer reading is going. I feel like I need like the library summer reading program thing to kind of motivate me and get me going. But they came to our school and did a summer reading thing, and there was nothing aimed at adults. So Arapaho Libraries, I just needed to come through for me, I guess. Yes, as always, like I say, let me know how your summer reading is going. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell, because I hopefully will have more books to talk about because it's August and I am off school. I'm also going on some trips. So we'll see. We'll see if I get to read and listen alongside those trips. But yes, I will be back with more bookish content for you very soon. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching.